Hola todos. My name is George. I come from China. I'm an associate professor and a master supervisor in Tianjin Academy of Fine Arts. And I'm also a PhD candidate, University Technology, MIRA UITM. So the title of my research is Interdisciplinary Spectacle and Ecological Reconstruction, a media genealogy towards AI-driven interactive animation AIIA. So the first part is development beyond linear obsolescence, conventional view of technological determinism that new tools replace old ones. Obsolete media are forgotten by history. However, in the ecological view, ecological reconstruction, media evolution is an accumulation. So sedimented layer of past tech nourish present innovation. So the core argument is the rapid rise of AI induces fear that human creativity is becoming obsolete, but interactive animation as a media spectacle is rooted in media tech soil, showing how past media and technology affect AI-driven innovation. When we talk about methodology, the media genealogy and media tech soil, so the media genealogy anchored in Foucault's archaeology of knowledge. This approach does not research for single origin, but traces the divergent lines of practice that created the current moment. The novel conceptual framework, Media Tech Soil (MTS), is an epistemological framework viewing media as a chronological strata bridging science and humanity. So why it matters? So just as soil composition determines plants' health, and this historical layer determine the sustainability of our digital future. There is no interactions without interference of these media layers, though there are 5 ontological strata of interactive animation. So they are not merely historical physicists, they are coexisting modes of being digital or digital being in a contemporary ecosystem. So in the bottom we can see the representational imaginary simulation. So RIS. Above it is a symbiotic networked interconnection. SNI. Above it is performative ludological mechanism. PLM. Up it is embodied processual interaction (EPI). On the top is algorithmic interdisciplinary intelligence (AII). In the first stratum, representational imaginary simulation. So it focuses on the constructions of digital illusion. So the transformation of human computing communication into geographical interactions. This is a bedrock where the code becomes imagination. This mechanism is projections. Computing-mediated systems project fantasies. Animation imparts life into static digital forms, establishing the screen as a site of psychological projection. So the case study, just like Industrial Light and Magic, ILM, since 1999, the famous Star Wars 1. The birth of the creator-level digital rendering and 3D visualization is also impact nowadays. And just like my artwork use Blender 3D, and just like Shiva Metagenesis last year, and Chinese Zodiac of the Rabbit, Moon Rabbit 2023. The Strata 2, symbiotic networked interconnections (SNI), so focus on the participatory web culture, the translation from isolate workstations to share web practices, the era of the flash generations and the democratizations of the tools. Mechanism is connection, so the animation become meta platform for social dynamics, so the audience shift from passive viewers to active participants in shared web memory. So the case studies just like the famous Flash artist Han Hugelberg, his modern living, and also my early web Flash art just like Dream of Life since 2006. And after 10 years, I built by the Unity WebGL, just like Journey to the Modern. And also the recent year 2024 used the Metaverse platform Sensor. So the Stratum 3 Performative Ludological Mechanism PLM so focus on the play art as educational approach, the introduction of ludology as a game logic. The system is not longer as a video, it's become a play-based environment for joyful learning. So the mechanism is play. The interactive behavior itself becomes the mechanisms for meaning. So the player as learner, core constructed through exploratory action. So the case study, just like the monument value, the very interesting game, and also the Prodigy and Minecraft education, and also the Quantum Game Jam 2024, just like that. The Stratum 4 is embodied procedural interactions API. So it's focused on the body as interface and feedback, moving the screen into the physical spaces. That's like VR, AR, XR, integrating the biological body into digital loop. Its mechanism is sensing. So scientific ethics meeting uncertainty in this wearable technology and sensors drive environment. The separation between the real body and the virtual space dissolves. So the case studies is just like one of my interviewees artist, Nikki Smith. His XR work is soil paint. So also my work about the motion capture 2008 in Chongqing and also in Germany. And AR glass tested with the HoloLens, and also the 2015 the Kinect dancing in Tianjin Vision Hill. The Strata 5 is algorithmic interdisciplinary intelligence AII. So focus on the AI driving interactive animation, that's short for the AIIA. So in current era, the integration of generative system where the image is not longer a tool but also an autonomous co-creator. Its mechanism is hyper agency, so AIGC. AI-generated content facilitates connective memories. AI acts as symbiotic partner, reorganizing data from the previous 4 layers into new spectacles. So the case study, just like the famous Rafik Anodous, his digital artwork, and the Quantum Memories 2020. And also we can see the development from the 2023-2024, the ChatGPT Speaks 2005, the Gemini Viralize, and now today, this year is 2026, the sequencing for the animated anyway. So the AISA also is hallucinated with us. So how AI reorganizes the media history? Well, it is an ecological assemblage. AI-driven interactive animation AIIA does not render earlier media form obsolete. Instead, it creates an assemblage. So the feedback loop is here is no interactions without interference. There is a significant characteristic in interactive animation. So it's also in the past technological constraints, just like sediments, nourish present innovation. The AI harvests the soil of history. So the rest of the hallucinatory history, the philosophical tension, choose vs presentation, generative AI risk creating creative hallucinatory history, reassembling cultural archives into altered narrative that never exist. So the consequence, the hyperreal construct supersede the original. This leads to cultural homogenization and the erosions of collective memory. So just like Benjamin said, the loss of aura. So in China, we said 真亦假是假亦真，无为有处有还无. In English, it's truth become factions when the faction true, and real becomes unreal when the unreal's real. Reverse to the techno-aesthetics humanism. The solution is reclaiming agents. So people should resist passive consumption. The scholar and artist act as the critical gatekeepers of media readability. So symbolic partnership, AI, is not a replacement for human intent, but the partner requiring rigorous ethical guidance. So the requirement is the media taxol required human tending to remain fertile. So true ecological constructions demand that human body and mind remain circled of meaning. Nowadays we are facing the quantum-like society and how to navigating the quantum-like society. So the digital sustainability is important, designing for the longevity of cultural meaning, not just technological novelty. The next is the connective memory. So using AI to bridge a personal experience with shared history in a way that preserves the integrity of the both. So an aesthetics shift as the art education should be beyond the technological scale to critical judgment of these media layers. So finally, the conclusion is cultivating the future. From the genealogy view, the interactive animation is a cumulative history with multi-souls. From the ecological lens, a contemporary IA is built on the sedimented practice of 5 types we have talked about it. So the responsibility, interdisciplinary intelligence, expanse of human cognition acting as guardians against the hallucination of history. Okay, this is a selective bibliography in my research. And finally is grasses. Thank you.